All right, now let's see if we can't work out the genius of Hartford politics. Okay, I call this the architect or the mastermind. The plot thickens as the race gets more and more desperate for the individuals involved. As all of you out there know, 11-8-11, the people's candidate, J. Stan McCauley. But there's, of course, masterminds involved. And that is to say that the race for mayor is really not Pedro Segarra and myself, but rather me and Ken Kennedy and Sean Wooden. Because there are plots that allow both of them to run as mayor without running for mayor. Because the race is now for who is going to be the president of the Hartford Court of Common Council's seat for council president. As we all know, there have been several deals struck behind the scenes. Deal one was for Councilman Kennedy to support the incumbent, and who knows what the deal was for that, but that happened, and then, of course, another deal came along where we had Sean Wooden run and support the incumbent, but that was overtly for a leadership position on the council. But now there's another deal that's been struck. The mastermind deal. This deal would have, of course, 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats, leaving Sean Wooden and 2 other Democrats that have been endorsed off the ticket. This dream team would then become the necessary majority that would be necessary to make Ken Kennedy council president, thereby axing any deals that were made with Sean Wooden, and Sean Wooden would be on the outside. Now, of course, all this means that Pedro Segarra would have to win. And a Pedro Segarra win must be guaranteed by both Sean Wooden and Ken Kennedy. Although it seems unlikely that either of them can do that as long as I am in the race. So now part of the mastermind deal to get the 3 Republicans on board, to get the Democrats to endorse, the Republican candidates with their votes, and of course the Republican Party here in Hartford, Connecticut, has endorsed the Democratic endorsed slate. Okay, so work with me, because I know it gets confusing, but that's Hartford politics at its finest. Every deal is a political deal. Always remember that. It has nothing to do with what's in the best interest of the community. It only has what's in the best interest of those people who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo or getting their fair share of yellow cheese, or chicken change as the case may be, as they continue to sell out the communities at large. Now, you have to understand that in order for Ken Kennedy to become mayor or Sean Wooden to become mayor, Pedro Segarra has to win an election. And in order for him to win an election, it means that I, your humble candidate for the people on 11-8-11, must be defeated. Now, we know we have strong support in the North End, so now there's been a deal by the same masterminds that have struck the deal to make Ken Kennedy council president, and vis-a-vis with the exit of potential incumbent becoming mayor, okay, on his own right, and thus getting elevated to some sort of judgeship, and president of council thus moving up. In order for that to happen on Ken Kennedy's watch as president of the council, I must be defeated, which means that we have North End Bluehills operative types now working a deal with West Enders to make sure that I don't get the black vote. And that's the latest update on what's going on as it relates to the behind-the-scenes, backroom dealing for the position of council president before the council gets elected to vote for a president. Now, that's the weekly update, conversations with J. Stan McCauley, and a very rare from my office update, because I just felt compelled, because as we sit back and we look at what's going on, we've seen rats act better aboard a ship taking on water as they flee for cover. But these rats aren't fleeing for cover. They're devouring one another. And remember, you, the general public, will pay the price. It is inevitable that political power will shift to the North End because the North End is where jobs are desperately needed. And where those jobs are needed, you have economic vitality. And economic vitality equals political clout. It isn't anything to be worried about. But if you want to turn the city around, you're going to have to turn North Hartford around, because as goes North Hartford, so goes the city, and as goes the city, so goes the region. And we can no longer have poverty as a, how shall we say, a growth industry in this region, in the capital region. We need dynamic growth that's going to bring down our mill rate here in the city of Hartford that is at 72 for all practical purposes, 72 mills. We got to reduce that mill rate down to 35 to 42 if we want to be competitive with the surrounding suburbs. We have a plan to do so. If you're really interested in the plan, if you're really interested in moving an agenda forward that moves Hartford forward, then give me a call. My personal cell phone number is area code 860-944-9797. If you call from an unpublished number or blocked number, I won't answer the phone. If I can see your digits, then we will have a conversation. Don't believe the hype, folks. Before you believe anything that anybody says about me, you can call me personally and get the truth. Also, check us out at McCauleyformayor.com. Over 50 hours of video, conversations, position papers, whatever it is you want to know is on that website. It's comprehensive, and it explains in detail what it is that we have as a plan for the city of Hartford, built on the revitalization of the North End in terms of pushing back poverty and the drug economy that is keeping this city in the morass that it is in. You want to turn around education, you want to fight crime, you want to fight unemployment. Let's deal with the real issue at the table, which is the underground economy being supported by drugs. The only way to push that back is with significant jobs, and we have a plan to bring those jobs here into the city. Stay strong, and remember, change is coming on 11/8/11, row 1E. The people now have an alternative. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.